So I'm going to talk about the body and the soul, and in fact, the consciousness. A soul is a conscious entity, presence of which makes us, our body, our mind, everything active. But due to ignorance, we are not realizing actually what we are. What is the real reason for our existence in this body? And this ignorance actually has increased time to time, and we had not put proper effort to understand what we are. Due to ignorance, this body, this soul connection actually has created lots of problem to us. And this problem comes because of association with the nature, with the mind and other entities. The soul falls under the trap of this nature because of three specific gunas, the characteristics of this nature. One is called sattva, raj, and tam. We must realize the reality of these three terminologies as well as the conscious nature of the soul. Just for this reason, Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned one specific couplet in Swarved, which is in 3rd canto, 1st chapter, 29th couplet. Let me just read it out and then I will explain the meaning and further elaborate it. What he says, देह त्याग दुख जान कर आओ आपन रूप त्रिगुण धर्म से अलग है चेतन शुद्ध स्वरूप. So deha tyag dukh jankar doesn't mean that you have to just die, leave this body. It's just not, that doesn't mean here. It's something different. What Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj says here, that we are very much dependent on our body for everything, which is actually an inert object. The reality is this body is functioning because of the presence of the soul, which is the pious, which is the purity inside this body. We should not just confine ourselves to this body. We should renounce ourselves. We should renounce ourselves, our body, through yoga. Body, just body, and having association with the body is a pain, is a sorrow. We have to come to our conscious state. The pure conscious state is very much distinct from these three gunas, sat, raj, tam, and body and the nature and mind all together. The need of a body is to function in this world. There is a need, definitely. And the mind plays a major role in our day-to-day functionality. And these activities are linked with infinite combination of these three gunas, sat, raj, and tam, and whichever three guna is much more prominent, our behavior, our activity, our karma, and everything is dependent on that prominent guna out of these three. And this continues for the infinite combination, for the infinite time what we have. Until the mind is very much active to engage us in this world through our sense organs, the reality of the consciousness, the soul, will not pop out. We will not be able to know the absolute truth about ourselves. That's why Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned here, Deha tyag dukh jankar aao apan roop. Come to your original form, the real form, which is the conscious form, the soul. Don't just get associated with these three gunas, prakriti, man, sat, raj, tam, and all these. Don't just be proud of what type of body you have. Definitely it is. But one day it would be just vanishing. It would be demolished. And at that time point, if we are not active at the level of soul, then it will be a real problem to us, because after that, we will keep on falling in this infinite loop of the nature and its characteristic, the birth and death, and so on and so on and so forth. In reality, the soul in its purest form does not need anybody as such. The body is not required as such. But we, right now, even if we are in this body, are we really utilizing it for the best option we have? Probably we need to get engaged as much as possible in the yoga, and we have to do it wisely, scientifically, to get dissociated from our this mortal body. The master, the Sadguru, helps us to achieve this conscious level through meditation, the blessings, and his own presence. We need to know more about his presence to get his blessing and get associated with his real power, and know the ways how we can please him, so that whatever he has himself has achieved can give it to us for our own upliftment and for our own benefit. That's why I repeat again here, the message is to please just don't be realizing only this body and mind. Our reality is not our body, our reality is not our mind, our reality is not our intellect. Our reality is ourself, the soul, and the level of soul is very different from all of these level of body, mind, and intellect, and all those. We need to practice, we need to understand, we have to practice rigorously to change our basis from inert to the conscious level. Thank you very much for listening today.